What's up, everybody? Jim and Joshua here to break down the first trailer for X-Men Apocalypse. And we're going to kick it right off with Jean Grey.
Janeway walking into Cerebro.
And then Nuclear Winter is coming. She has some visions here of the world going to hell. And then nice shot of the hieroglyphics, huh?
Yep. And I don't remember, prophecy being in her wheelhouse of her powers, but it looks like she's either touching the mind of Apocalypse and getting these visions, or she is sort of maybe seeing the future. Maybe we're getting a little Phoenix action.
Yeah, a little foreshadowing of that. Of course, Sophie Turner, Game of Thrones Sansa Stark as Jean Grey, and James McAvoy rocking a very 80s look there as Professor X. We believe this one is actually set in 1983, I think.
10 years after Days of Future Past.
And then 20 years after First Class, which we saw here Oxford University, where he went to. And here we go with the first look at Apocalypse hooded. We don't see his face yet, but that guy in the middle, who's that?
That's Caliban.
And his power is that he can help track other mutants, and obviously he's got his designs on Storm, who we see there. It's Alexandra Shipp plays her. Now her hair, look at her hair there.
Yeah, it looks like normal color, like it's like dark brown there. So maybe
Yeah.
once she meets Apocalypse, he supercharges her, and she gets the white hair we know from the iconic
Right.
Storm.
We think she's in Cairo there. Now they look up a blast from the past here. We got
So cult worshippers, and
yeah.
in the comics, this is known as the Akaba. So it looks like the cult of Apocalypse here in modern times.
And they Lucas Till back as Havoc.
That 80s hair.
And then Moira McTaggart, Rose Byrne playing her again, still at the CIA.
I guess when she was gone for Days of Future Past, she was researching ancient Egypt because she seems to know everything about Apocalypse.
Right.
And it looks like this is Egypt in like it's full and it's lush, like back in its prime. So I guess we're gonna go back and actually see Apocalypse in its prime.
Now let's go back there for a second, and I just want to point out right there, she has a photo of her with her little boy. Now, if she hasn't seen Charles for like 20 years, that's probably not his kid unless they've gotten back together.
Could
So,
that be his son, Legion?
yeah.
Maybe not.
Say we know that they're going to do a Legion TV show.
Uh-huh.
Now, first hint of Apocalypse and Magneto. We're going to notice his shirt later on.
A beast,
Beast,
and
and
a
then
little shot of Cyclops there.
yeah, played by Ty Shedder, and of course Jennifer Lawrence back as Raven. And then this is. Do you want to go back and? I think those are the kids.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
those are the kids from the X Mansion. It looks like I don't know the lawn,
Cody Smith McPhee as Nightcrawler.
and he's got the same markings as Alan Cummings. He looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
I know some
I like
people
his
were
80s
dogging
hair.
the hair, but
Nah, that's very 80s hair.
looks
That's
pretty good.
appropriate. Jubilee. That's
Jubilee!
Lana Condor, very popular and the most 80s looking of those characters. And
She's been in some X-Men movies before, but now she's actually going to have a part, so
Yeah.
that's awesome.
now, what's going on here?
I think this is Moira McTaggart doing a little more research. Maybe this explains like how she knows everything. She's been on the tail of Apocalypse. Here's Xavier with some kids. Looks like Jubilee on the right.
Yeah. Let's go forward here. Now we get a first good look at Michael Fassbender back as Magneto, and then there's Alexander Shipp again, and then
She's got some armor on and her white hair after
and
spending
a
some time with
first kind of
Apocalypse.
peek at
Yeah.
Oscar
Look-
Isaac.
Look at a better look. Poe Dameron from Star Wars.
That's right. Now this is a great kind of look at his armor and that sort of the elaborate, almost circuitry going on there.
Yeah, in the comic books, he actually took technology from a crashed celestial ship, like an alien ship, and fused it with himself to enhance its powers. So I wonder if they were going to do that in the movie here. The armor does look pretty cool, the
Yeah, it's
tubes and
pretty
everything.
sweet. Yeah.
And Apocalypse, he really is giving them a challenge we haven't quite seen before. And so now,
Now-
of course, with Apocalypse comes the Four Horsemen. So we have Storm, we have Archangel.
Yeah, it's Ben Hardy. No relation, we believe, to Tom Hardy, but playing Angel. Last
looks-
scene played by Ben Foster in X-Men.
Yeah,
last
those
time.
tattoos look pretty sweet.
And then Olivia Munn as Psylocke.
Yes. And then his final horseman is Magneto.
Now, you go back to Olivia Munn there for a second. You did notice something about the lighting.
Oh yeah, so she has like a pink purple psychic dagger. So we're assuming she has that and she's holding that in her hand off camera. So that would be cool to see her fully realized in a movie. Even though she was an X3 for a minute, but she was in the background and her hair wasn't even purple. More Apocalypse Four Horsemen imagery, and they have that funny back and forth of did he get that from the Bible or did the Bible
Yeah,
get it from him?
yeah. And then, okay, I like this new Cerebro. It's got a kind of a Tron Doctor Who lighting vibe going on there.
Yeah, and he's crying here, and it looks like he's touching minds with Apocalypse, and we'll see the result of that in a second.
Now, here we go. This is a nice shot, actually, of the Horsemen uh, assembled at X-Men Mansion, at the X Mansion. And then I want to see right there. Go back. Okay, Havoc has obviously used his powers at some point because he's blasted through his
Oh
shirt.
yeah, look at that.
So there must have been some sort of showdown. We think this sequence of the trailer we're seeing basically kind of play out in order of we're going to see right here. We think this is just a few moments before they show up because Hank is wearing the same outfit.
Yeah, and they skipped their little romantic relationship in the last movie, but it looks like they might be picking it back up here.
Now, here we go. We have Evan Peters, if you can go back, as Quicksilver. And then we're going to see the rest of the team. Now, Moira McTaggart also suited up as an
Yeah,
X-Man.
this is
That's
cool. A nice
curious.
shot of the team in the looks like in the Blackbird, ready to fight.
Okay, now they're obviously been captured, and then we see Mystique in her blue form, and then it looks
We've
like
got Quicksilver in the middle,
Beast.
looks like Beast at the top, also blue, and then Moira on the right. Moira
Moira.
McTaggart. The green glow makes me think this is like sapping their powers or
Right.
something.
It's a nice little shot of the team.
This is
the new
awesome. We
members.
got first good look at Cyclops. Got some Ray-Bans on, some modified Ray-Bans.
Nightcrawler's tail.
Nightcrawler's tail, and then looks like they're in like a destroyed city. So I'm assuming this is the end of the movie.
And they have to finally sack up and be a team. Now let's go forward here to we have a theory. This is Cyclops in like a school bathroom, and probably a classic bully in the bathroom scene from school movies where somebody takes his glasses.
Oh yeah, and then they
And
wish
this is
they
how
hadn't.
he ends up going. Yeah, going to Charles's school.
Yeah, and we know Havoc is in this movie because he's bringing Scott
Right.
to the X Mansion to be trained.
Okay, let's move forward.
So this really is a movie about how the X-Men come together. There's Magneto. It's like we from what we've read about the movie so far is that we know that he's sort of trying to live a normal life, like under the radar, maybe as a lumberjack
Yeah,
or something.
he's kind of a broken soul, and he's been on the run, of course, for almost killing the president. So let's scroll
So this looks
forward.
like the beginning of the movie. Then he'll probably transform and get his new outfit that we've seen.
Now, here we go. We think this is the astral plane or some sort of psychic plane because just the laws of physics here are changing, and the fact that Charles can fight and walk, you know?
Yeah, the fact that he's throwing a punch at Apocalypse. And then Apocalypse growing. Obviously, he changes shape in the comic books. That's just one of his signature powers that he can turn into like a giant. Maybe they're not going to do that in reality, and they'll save it for like more of a trippy kind of dream astral plane battle sequence.
Right.
Uh, but either way, that's pretty cool to see him actually growing
Yeah.
like that. That is awesome. And
Now, here we go. This is going to be the big, one of the big Quicksilver sequences. You got to like the visual pun of the Rush T-shirt, but we think he is going to be saving some X-Men students that we see in a moment here. Now let's scroll forward.
this,
and
I've been
then
waiting my
boom.
whole life to see this. To
Yeah.
see Archangel just
Uh,
unleashing some razor blade feathers in full costume. That is awesome.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. Let's scroll forward. We're going to see the rest. Now she's riding the lightning there. You would think-
That's an upgrade.
Yeah, and we're going to see, basically they're attacking numerous cities, but we do see Manhattan coming up here. And then this is what we think Quicksilver's doing, that he's running through the mansion to save these
Okay,
kids.
it's obviously X-Men Apocalypse. They're gonna up the ante. It looks like they're actually gonna blow up the X Mansion, which is crazy. And yeah, that would make sense for Quicksilver to come in and like save these little kids
Yeah.
from eating it.
And great look at Apocalypse here.
Yeah, I love if you look at his chest here, it's sort of like his midsection. He's got the
Ankh.
A and then sort of an ankh in that. So it's like, it's A for Apocalypse, but it's also going back to his ancient Egyptian roots. He looks pretty sweet, way better than that kind of picture we saw of him.
Now we think here he's either Axis Cerebro or something, but it's almost like the Cerebro effect, and all the many mutants of this world, and it is a frightening kind of image, though.
Yeah,
And then
Apocalypse having a Cerebro, that's crazy.
now here we go. This is obviously Manhattan. We see the World Trade Centers, uh, but again, some apocalyptic, appropriately enough,
Yeah, not sure how
imagery.
he's doing this, but this looks
It looks
really
like they're
crazy.
bringing it up from under the ocean. And so this is the horsemen working in concert. So maybe Magneto is somehow affecting magnetic stuff in the Earth's core, and
I
it's
could see
all
that.
pulling it up.
And then this looks like the follow up from him touching Apocalypse's mind for the first time. His
Yeah.
eyes go black, and I'm thinking maybe that's what maybe hurts Professor X and poisons him,
Yeah.
and that's what makes his hair fall out, which we'll see in this little iconic shot.
Boom. Here we go. He's gone full Patrick Stewart now. And yeah, I guess they had to buy the original X-Men movie wheelchair back from a collector.
Yes.
But we also think, I mean, the fact that he's suited up like Patrick Stewart as well, instead of just going back to his blazer and t-shirt, probably means there could be a time jump here.
Yeah, this could be like the end of the movie, right? I
Yeah,
can see that. And he
to the
looks, and he's
90s.
maybe looking at like the team fully
Yeah.
formed.
Yeah. Well, guys, that'll do it for all things X-Men Apocalypse. Keep it here on IGN.